7 First News anchor Stan Boney. As I mentioned, he's live at the scene. He spent the night talking with neighbors about the fire, and he also is getting a look at what's going on there right now.
Well, here's the situation that's taking place right now. I'm just right off Snyder Road in the southern part of Salem. There is one lone Salem Fire Department ladder truck still on the scene here tonight. You can see it just kind of pouring water right down onto what is still burning of the old Salem China company. It is pouring water down. You can't see it back in there, but there is also a backhoe which has been here for the last hour or so. It's in there moving some debris around so that the ladder truck and the hose and the water that's with it can pour water on the scene and try to put this fire out. Now, earlier this afternoon, I was pretty much in this same spot watching the smoke billow out. People could see it as far away as Youngstown State University. People in Poland said they reported it. People in Canfield reported seeing the ash from the fire actually falling on their houses. There were people all lined up along this area for what has been one of the biggest fires in Salem in a number of years. The first thing you noticed was the smoke, huge clouds of it, colored with hues of blacks and grays, then becoming rust-colored at the top. It was coming from a fire at what was the Salem China Company. Bob Mary owns a nearby business.
I closed at 3:30 and came out and saw all the smoke. Came up the top of the hill and fire department was just coming in. As the fire burned, you could hear the buildings collapsing and walls coming down.
Jim Ullman is a photographer who couldn't resist the opportunity for what turned out to be many good pictures.
I was taking a picture of a barn in the sunset just south of Alliance, and I saw the smoke. So you could tell something big was going on.
Tough time getting access to the fire.
Salem Fire Chief Scott Mason says some of his firefighters actually entered the building, but weren't in there for long.
The building started to collapse, so we backed up and just did a defensive attack.
This drone video shows the extensiveness of the fire, the railroad tracks on the left, and the fact that it was several hundred yards off of a main road is what added to the access and water issues. The building is now owned by the Church Budget Envelope Company. Rolls of paper were among the items that were burning. As night fell, pieces of burning paper could be seen floating from the building. But what caused all the black smoke?
I know there was some machinery in the far side. It might have been the tires from the machinery. I believe there was some old farm machinery in there, so it could have been the tires from the farm machinery.
A ladder truck from Canfield was set up on the north side of the fire to hose down houses and a wooded area. No one was evacuated, no one was hurt, but there were a couple of brush fires, and the roof of a nearby building briefly caught fire.
I believe it was the Quaker City Castings training facility.
Damage there minimal?
I believe it was minimal.
Chief Mason has no idea how the fire started, and given its extent, said he probably never will. 10 fire departments did show up to help fight the fire. Well, we have just learned that officials with the Ohio EPA are also on the scene here tonight in Salem. They'll be working with the Salem Fire Department to monitor the water that is running off into many of the nearby creeks. They'll also be monitoring the air quality, which is pretty much standard procedure in a big industrial fire like this one. Now, all the paper that was burning, a lot of it actually became ash and floated over much of Salem, and as I mentioned before, all the way into Canfield. This is a house on 11th Street, just north of Salem High School, about 2 miles from the fire itself. The owner of the house, Gisela Hildebrand, called us to say that she could see the ash on her front porch and in her yard.
When I came out, you could see it flying in the air, and then I looked at the porch and it was all over. And I just thought, for where I'm at, it really blew. You know, that's a good distance.
Did you smell anything?
Yes, you could really smell the smoke.
Well, she also said that at between 5 and 5:30 at the pretty much at the top of the fire, at the peak of the fire, that it actually looked like it was snowing. That's how much ash was falling at her house. Now, there was also a fire here at the Salem China Company in July of 2003, actually in the same building that caught fire here today. Now, we did learn a little bit more about the Salem China Company. It's actually opened in 1898. They stopped making china here, though, in 1967 and used this as a warehouse for sales and service all the way to 1999. At the time of the 2003 fire, the building was also owned by the Church Budget Company. Now, I just talked with somebody that was out here watching the fire burn who worked at the Church Budget Company about 6 months ago. He told me what was in there were rolls and rolls of paper. Also, the little boxes the church envelopes come in, they were in there as well. Also, a number of plastic pallets and shipping boxes, they were in there. He thinks this is going to be a trouble for the Church Envelope Company because a lot of churches want their envelopes come the beginning of the year for the entire year. This was crunch time for that company, and this could be a big mess for their end of the year sales. Live in Salem, Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.